Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Chris, back with another episode of Skyrim Creations. Today we are looking at Jorrvaskr, or Jorrvaskr, however you would like to pronounce it. I'm sure there will be someone out there that would like to correct me, and I will thank you for that. Now before we get into the main build for today, which is really just a preview, I'd like to make the note, guys, that this is a work in progress. It is a lot more complicated than our Riverwood trader that you see over there. There are a lot of more little twiddly little bits we need to adjust, and that is something that just takes time. It is something that we will get through in the end. So we'll start off first with the roof, which is probably one of my favourite parts of the building so far. Now, as you can see here, we have used wooden steps to make this sort of curve that goes around the entire building, and these window blocks that are here replace what would normally be a sort of black wooden plank that you would see in the normal Jorrvaskr building. Now, unfortunately, obviously, we aren't just going to leave that empty because, you know, that looks rubbish. So we use the glaster, and I really like that effect. I think it works really well. Now, what we have up here is an attempt at those ornaments. Now, you might see them, guys, on the top of the Jorrvaskr building to begin with. They're like dragon little things peering over the edges over here and on the other side, and also some little ornament on the way here. Obviously, it is a work in progress still. It is really complex and little, like, fiddly once again, and I'm trying to work out a way of best building it, because it really requires just so much little tedious detail to it, which hopefully we can get in Minecraft. I've been trying with a few things, like your levers also, but they look a bit silly as arms. They just look very odd. So we'll see how that goes in the future. Now, on the base here, we have some half stone blocks, going all around the building, and that just gives our basis of our build. We also have used some fences here to give, those sort of those planks are going an angle, I suppose, if you want to call it that, and they look alright. I've experimented with some half blocks here, and I think they look just a bit better without them. Just to, makes it look a little bit cleaner, which, cleanness is always lovely. Now, if we go to the back here, we will see that we're missing a massive chunk. Now, as you guys will be familiar with, if you have ever been to the building or been to the back of the building, there is a massive undercover area, which I have, as you can see here, prepared for. Unfortunately, though, I've got a bit of earth here, and it is absolutely massive. It is humongous, and I've still got to work out how I'm going to build that across here. As you can see, it's got to go at least to about here, at least, to make it sort of right. We might even have to extend it more. Now, of course, you're all wondering, what is this massive gap under here? Now, this is the underside of the Jorrvaskr construction. I think it's Jorrvaskr, but we'll go with that anyway. And I've used the wool here to sort of give a little floor plan, which I think gives it a nice little outline of what we're trying to achieve here. Obviously, this is where you enter the building, and this is another room, and there is, various runes across each of the side as you walk along. And of course, this little emptied out space here is where you first meet the companion leader, which is having a talk with some, I don't know, one of their best warriors or so, which you end up beating, which is a bit funny. So yes, we'll see how that goes. Now, as you can see, I put that a little bit further back here, but then I realized, no, that's way too far. It does not need to be that far back. So I brought it forward a bit, and I think that's a much better distance. It doesn't involve a marathon to get from point A to point B. It just takes a minor stroll, which, matches it a lot better. Now, if we look on the inside, unfortunately, because of the dimensions of the outside of the building and the inside don't completely match in Skyrim, there have had to be exceptions made within the internal construction. As you can see here, I've kept the fire relatively exact to what was in the building. The main reason for that was because this is the focal point of the inside, in my opinion, and it needs to be the one that is the most accurate. Now, I've tried to emulate carpet by putting these wooden blocks, wool blocks around, and I think that does a pretty good job. I tried putting some, preparation type of tables over here. However, they caught on fire, and that wasn't very good. I lost about half of this section here, which wasn't very nice, and yes, it made me a bit sad. So besides that, we might, we've managed. We might have to put them back around here. I think that might be a better idea, because that gives us a bit more distance, and we know they're not going to catch on fire, or even if we just put them on the side here. And obviously, it isn't 100% accurate. However, it is the best we can do within these space restrictions. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I read them all, because you guys are great. Now, as you can see here, we have our office room, which you find on, I think it's the other side of the building. However, for this build, I preferred it on this one. It just looked a bit better with it, the whole arrangements and everything. It just worked out to be easier. Now, as you can see here, we haven't done much in here. It's pretty much the same as the other rooms. However, we'll be putting a carpet along here, and decorations and all that stuff, which will come in time once we have the, available time and, preparation, because once we've got a lot to do here. Don't get me wrong, we're only about probably 60%, if that, through the build, maybe about 40%, so there is still a lot more to go. And once again, over here we have our little entrance to the underground area of the building. These are meant to be shells, which will probably be changed multiple times during the construction, which will be quite interesting to keep an eye on. Now, it is important to note, guys, that this, like I said, is in the early stages of its construction. I wanted to bring it out because a few of you really liked, or a lot of you really liked the first episode of our Skyrim creations, and I wanted to continue that. And I wanted to give you guys a bit of an idea on what to expect in the future. Of course, if you guys do have your suggestions, like I said, please leave them because I do read them all. And until then, guys, my name is Mr. Chris. Thank you for watching Skyrim Creations Jorrvaskr. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.